Alright, so we're basically at the very end almost of the original Elm Street films. I just got Wes Craven's New Nightmare to get through, and then I'll be done. Of course, there's a remake, but I'm not counting that as part of the franchise, of course. But yeah, this one, which came out in '91, basically it's Freddy Krueger returns once again to prowl nightmares of Springwood's last surviving teenager, and a woman whose personal connection to Krueger may mean to his doom. It's directed by Rachel Talalay, which she was a producer on pretty much all of the whole franchise. Robert Englund comes back, of course, as Freddy. We do get some cameos from other people. Johnny Depp is also in a scene. This one's looked at as, goofy, it's silly, it's over the top. It's... I mean, growing up watching most of them, and then, this one, of course, as well. She also wrote, or co-wrote it, too, but... I don't know, I don't want to say I never hated it. Well, I never hated it. I had, a rage for it, but it wasn't one of my favorites, A lot of people, I guess I was following the crowd at the time. People, would review it and say it's trash, and so I saw it as that, and then, of course, older, and, yeah, I don't mind the film. It's definitely, a departure from the tone of the fifth one, because it starts out almost, dark, where Freddy's following this guy, John Doe, or John Doe, I'm sorry. John Doe, and pretty much Freddy sends him out to get him more victims, which is basically Elm Street 4 plot, but okay. I didn't mind his character. They do try to do a red herring with him, where, you think Freddy is keeping him alive to give him more victims, but really, it's to get him back his daughter, which was never addressed in the other movies, but, I get they were trying to do something a bit different. They wanted to add some stuff different here. Empire Strikes Back a bit. Or Return of the Jedi, whichever. But, I wish it was more darker. Because there's scenes that have potential of being, old school Freddy, and no, they're played for laughs, where, the kid that has a hearing aid, he at one point loses it, and so he can't hear, and so the movie's silent, and you can see Freddy in the background just jumping around and acting goofy in the dark. And I did like some of that scene where he gives him a hearing aid, but it's actually a Freddy hearing aid, so it's an ultrasound hearing aid. Aid. And so he can pretty much hear everything, even drops of water. It's pretty much ultrasound, surround sound, pretty much. And so Freddy, of course, blows his head up, because he has... I did like that scene where he does, a cool... with the chalkboard. You're like, ooh, ooh. I don't know, I kind of like that scene, and then he, scratches his claws against the chalkboard, which, ugh. So that was a pretty good scene. No gore really in this movie. Really in any of them, except maybe the first one a bit. Or even the second one. But here, there's not really there's no gore, really. Spencer's character, where we're dealing with these foster kids, I guess. I want to say foster kids, but, some of them have parents. One of them, Spencer, he's like a rich, wealthy kid, but he acts up and wants to get his dad's attention, so he blows his car up, what we're told, and other stuff. His death is kind of lame because he just falls into a pit, he falls down the stairs, then falls into like a portal and never hear from him again. And of course, the idea of when Freddy kills somebody, they become erased from everybody else's memory, but those who remember them, or those that were close to them, I guess. It's that part I didn't understand, because like Lisa remembered him, you know, Tracy remembered him, Doc, but like everybody else doesn't, so I didn't understand the rules for that. Would that mean even his, well, I don't know. But yeah, that was sort of interesting. I wish they would have went more into that. The whole daughter, Maggie being, you know, Freddy's long lost daughter. I don't know. I mean, in this movie, like, it totally discounts everything that happened in the last movie. Like, it doesn't really go off from 5. You're led to believe maybe Alice died because it says the last survivor or surviving teen slain or whatever of it. But then, like, I don't know. So yeah, that was like the script. I wish they would have done a bit more with. They should have made it more dark instead of going goofy. I get it's the last one they wanted to do, but fans, I think, wanted a more darker Freddy, and you decide to throw everything out the kitchen window or the bedroom window or whatever. And I'm like, why? I mean, you have Freddy, the power glove, and you know, I sort of like that scene where he is playing, where he's beating up Spencer in the video game. That is kind of funny. And then he's like, Super Spencer, and then he totally beats down Freddy. They do actually do callbacks from like the Dream Warriors, where Tracy is able to kind of manifest herself into the dream world meditation. So I thought that was pretty cool, because John's like, just hit me already. So then she just smacks him with a 2x4 and knocks him into the table. And then he falls into the dream world. Of course, hers is very gentle lane, very magical, like mystical. And her backstory is really sad, because like her dad's pretty much find out he was abusive to her, and that's why she has so much rage in her. But she doesn't really do much at the end. Like, she is mainly Maggie that fights Freddy, which is fine because that's his daughter and all. But some of the movie at the midway through is slow, because like, I don't know, like Maggie's looking at newspaper clippings and walking around in town, and she takes John Doe to like this town that like is mainly just old elderly people there. Because I guess Freddy killed all their kids, and so they're kind of nuts. And like whenever they see children, they're like paranoid and panicky, because like, you know, they bring him, and like Roseanne and Tom Arnold is there, and they freak out, which is funny. But yeah, overall, like the movie, I didn't mind the way they kill Fred. The way and his explanation of, I did like how we go through his childhood a bit, where Alex Cooper is his dad, apparently. And then the fact that they look like 3 floating turds that talk, that have faces, and is gross. But I did like how we got to go. We were in Freddy's mind and got to see him through the years a bit. Um, but overall, I would say it's a forgettable film. In the look of Freddy, I know a lot of people complain about the makeup. It's horrible. You know, I'm fine with it. Like, I still like the movie. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites, but it's okay to watch. Just don't put it with the other films, and you're good to go. Um, you know, but I look at this as like its own thing. It's a non-canon, um, a bit. But yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications for when I drop more videos. Peace and love.